Vanessa, and I'm privileged to work for the Endangered Wildlife Trust. I am the head of business and fundraising, so you can imagine what a fun job that is. But tonight we have a really very special program for you, and thank you so much for coming out on a relatively cold evening to learn some more about our precious African wild dogs. And then we have another very special speaker here tonight, and that is Nadav Ossendryver. I'm proud to say that Nadav is the youngest Endangered Wildlife Trust ambassador. Nadav was 15 when he developed the Kruger Sightings, which is now called latest Sightings. He is absolutely passionate about wildlife, and he wants to make a difference. His app, which you can all join, was developed on November the 11th. And it's a very important tourism tool in wildlife in South Africa. Nadav has been highlighted in Beeld, on 702, and a number of other journalists. And not only is he passionate about wildlife, but he's a great drummer, he's an excellent student, and he's worked also for the Fountain of Love AIDS Orphanage in Katlehong. He's a King David Linksfield student. Nadav was born in Israel, and his parents have been long-term members of the Endangered Wildlife Trust. Kareem, his mum, is a multi-interactive computer designer, and Talia, his sister, developed this very special logo that you see there. I believe that Nadav is the next Mark Zuckerberg. He was called in. He was called in to meet with Google. I spent 2 hours with him. I'll leave it to you to make your own judgments. But tonight, enjoy Grant and Nadav. Thank you.
So much for making me the youngest eco-ambassador, and thank you for inviting me to speak here tonight. I'm really excited for this. So basically, latest Sightings is a way to make your trip to Kruger a successful one. So many people go there and drive around for hours and see nothing, and this is a way of making you see everything that you want in one trip. Kruger has over 1 million visitors a year, and often most of them don't see all that they can. So this is why latest Sightings helps them. The reason I started this was because every time we go to the Kruger, I always force my parents to stop every car and ask them what they see. And they get so irritated of me asking them to do it. So I thought, why don't I make an easier way of doing this? So why don't they share their own sightings so that we don't have to ask them, they do it by themselves. So that's the reason I created Latest Sightings. Latest Sightings leverages the power of the technology to share your sightings and make your trip to Kruger so much better than it used to be. And it's also growing daily. It has over 1,840 members, and people are just using it all the time to share their sightings, to share photos, and it's so much easier. Not only did I use the website, I use Facebook because it's so much easier, and it's so much easier to share and to use it for discussions. And also, it's growing every single day. Look, it has 4,000 likes, and people are using it to discuss. And also, Twitter. Also much easier to share sightings and follow. If you don't want to know all the photos or everything, you just want to know the sightings, Twitter is also a good option. But what's nice about Facebook and Twitter is you have everything, you have the sightings, but you don't get alerts. If you're driving around in Kruger, you don't want to sit there on your phone the whole time looking if there's another sighting. So we made BBM and WhatsApp groups so you can get alerts. You can still look around for your own animals, have the fun, and you don't know what you're going to see next. But if there's sighting, you get alerted. So you don't have to sit in the technology the whole time. Because you go to Kruger to have fun and also get away from it. but obviously you want to see lots of animals, so we created this BBM and WhatsApp group. We also get lots of interesting videos of sightings that they share. People, like, they see the photos, they want to see what happens. Like, over here, this is a sighting that I actually got of a crocodile on the road with 20 terrapins attacking it. And it's nice to have photos, but you want to see what actually happens. So also we found this because of later sightings. We got a sighting of a crocodile next to the road, went there, and this is what happens. Also, if you have Facebook and Twitter, it's all nice, but if it's not on your phone, it's not going to be easy. So I had to create an iPhone app. Basically, if you have this iPhone app, you can easily go and register, share sightings, and you also you see what others have seen. And it's so easy, it's free. If you have an iPhone, you can go get it. This is what Kruger sightings ranked in the whole world, 224,000, because people are loving it. They go once and you see they're returning, they come back and come back, because obviously either they're in Kruger or they just love seeing what animals have been spotted. This is more or less what I get every day. About, if you see, more or less 1,700 on average visitors come every day. And not only from South Africa, people who live in London and just missing the Kruger, people who've never been to Kruger, they want to see what they're missing. And this is the reason why they must go there. And if you see here, over 1,900 people have come back over 200 times. Maybe because it's helped them and maybe they're in Kruger, they want to see what animals have been spotted and everything. Here's some feedback that we've gotten. The best story that I have in terms of feedback was this family from America. They've never been to Kruger before and they've never seen a leopard in their life. So they asked me, we want to go to Kruger, the only thing we have to see is a leopard. So I looked in the history of the past month in the area that they're going to, and I realized that there's been one leopard in this specific area that's being seen every day. So I told them to go there, and the first animal that they saw wasn't an impala, wasn't anything, it was a leopard. and made their trip already, and this was on their first day, their first sighting. They waited with it, and they saw a kill an impala in front of them. So they saw a leopard kill on their first sighting. Later that day, I got another leopard sighting, and I said, just go try it out, it might still be there when you go there. They did. They watched it kill another impala. In the same day, the first day they've ever been to Kruger, they saw two leopard kills, two different ones. They said they could go home that afternoon, they would have been happy. And they told everyone how this helped them, and they love it. And people like Wildlife Safari says, this is an amazing website, thank you. So it helps safaris, visitors, because if you're a safari, this helps you. If you people are paying, they want to see the animals, you can show them where they are. So that uses it, the safaris use it, visitors use it, but also people who are just passionate about wildlife and want to see what's going on now. People who care about the environment, like EWT, and people who just visit the Kruger Park often, and also some famous people in the Kruger who use it, like Jeremy Mansfield. He went there, I think, a couple of months ago. I helped him see wild dogs, and he shared a picture, and he was so excited about it. John Robbie on Twitter has mentioned me a couple of times in terms of news stuff, and also the cricket players Mona and Albi Morkel love it because they're wildlife, they're just wildlife fanatics. And the one time when they were in India, playing cricket, I was at Kruger at the time, and I got a sighting. I put a picture, and they said, "I wish I could be at the sighting there with you." So it just shows how many people actually use it. Also, not only do you share sightings just for the fun of it and showing off what you've seen to the rest of the world, we use it for research. We want to take like different packs or different prides and just use it to help and see like the movement and everything. And as Grant said before about the wild dog project, in May I suddenly got a WhatsApp from him saying we need help. We're collaring these two wild dogs in this Kakuza pack. So he asked me to help, so I went on Twitter, I went on Facebook, everything, the website, and I said, the next week, you're not looking for any lions, you're not looking for any cheetah, anything, all you're looking for is wild dogs. We need to find these, we're collaring them. So all the people that were in Kruger, all they were looking for were these wild dogs. I got leopard signs that said they didn't even stop, they just looked for wild dogs. So finally after 3 days, we finally helped them track it, and also because of Kruger Sightings. So this is what helped it, and they're doing well, thank goodness. Also, if you all know the ground hornbills are in danger, we also keep a database of every sighting, but also the ground hornbills. So if they need research and you see if they're declining or anything, you just use the database from Kruger Sightings. This is also not really research, but I got a sighting of a male lion. I think in January that was injured. They showed a picture of it and it just looked terrible. And everyone on Facebook and Twitter they got so attached to this lion. And they said, "Can you please help it?" It looked like a natural injury, even though usually they don't help if it's natural. But so many people got so attached to it that they were actually forced to do this. So this is also the power of latest sightings, that not only like sharing sightings, research, but also saving the animals that need to be helped. This one, sadly, it died. They didn't make it, but just everyone was so happy that we tried to help, and they were praying for it. They just got so attached to the sign. Also, we get some interesting sightings, like stuff that is very unusual. And this is one where a python, they were driving around, they got a lion sighting, and they went to it. And on the way there, they saw a traffic jam. They asked if this is a lion. They said, "No, there's a python crossing the road." So they looked at it and it went under their car. And it just never came out again. They never went outside under the car, so they couldn't see it. And there was a lookout point, like I think a kilometer away. So they drove there and they wanted to see what happened. And I think if you see there's the tour operator said he's only seen this once before. This was like recently, so it's in winter and it's cold. So what the snakes do, because they're cold, they're cold-blooded. They go to where it's warm. So in the engine, it's obviously warm. So they said just open up the bonnet, and they opened it up, and they saw this inside their car. So they were so relieved to finally get it out. And this is some just interesting sightings. Another one is of a cheetah on top of someone's car. Only happens usually in like the Serengeti and everything. No one ever sees it in Kruger. This is a sighting that I got. Also an albino impala, which is also very rare. And that one's by Mpondo Dam. It's seen quite often there, but it's rare. And this is a coalition of 9 male lions, which is also, I think, pretty rare to have that. They're found between Satara and Orphan. And basically they used to have 12, but then 3 went away and so I think joined another prize. So this left 9. But recently, I think in the past month, I've only gotten a sighting of 8. So I'm sure either the one died or must have moved to another pack. So this is just a picture that I got, also quite recently. And also, I don't know if any of you heard or seen, but the S100 Negative Pride of 40 plus lions. This one has 19, but a few days ago I got a picture of 27 of them. So this is also just like amazing to see that in Kruger and how many lions live together. This also, I think a month ago, this leopard gave birth. And I got a sighting of a leopard and 2 cubs. So this family went there. They said they stayed with it the whole day. And it crossed the road with the leopard in its mouth. They said they've been there. Someone's lived in Kruger for 17 years, has never seen this. This is also such a rare sighting to even see a leopard and then to see this. It's just incredible. And also only because of Kruger sighting. And then another one was a lioness with a porcupine claw in her nose. This is on the H10 north of Lower Sabia. Yesterday, I got a sighting of a lioness injured with TB, and it looks exactly the same as this one. We're happy that it survived at least after this for a month or so. But yesterday it looked like it was terrible. Today it was limping, it couldn't even stand up. So we don't know, they can't really help it because it's TB and it's natural, but that's nature. That's how it goes. So, and this one is Lower Sabia of a leopard inside the camp. They watched it. This is actually it going outside the camp. It's outside, but then the gate's there. I've got a picture of it just going in. And people got so scared if they're walking out at night, wondering if it's there. So that's also such an interesting sighting, and you never think these animals go in, but they do. And recently, there's in Skakuza, there's been a hyena. There's a hole in the fence, and it came in every single night, just to around the camping area and to feed off the brahs. And because of later sightings, they know about it. Because of later sightings, they finally figured out where the hole was and they fixed it. So the day before I was there, they fixed it. So I never got to see it in the camp. I wanted to. I was going to walk around and look for it, but they fixed it. Also, not only sightings, we also report bad behavior. As you see here, the first one, the camp gate. Skakuza is about not even 50 meters. And even it couldn't wait. So this one over here, we were at a lion sighting, and if it wasn't on the road, people, they weren't interested in looking for it. So this car just drove off the road to go look for it, and we never know, there could be another lion right next to him that he could have run over. But these people, they try to just go see where the animals are. And I also got a sighting of someone throwing oranges at a leopard that was sleeping just to wake it up. And these people don't know, they don't know that it's wrong. What happened was, I got a sighting also, a picture like that of someone outside their car. And I said, like, I've just reported this, look at this. And I got comments saying, what's wrong with this? Why can't you get out the car? And the people don't know. So I said, you're not allowed to. There are animals, there are lions there, you can get killed. And they said, well, I didn't know that, so now I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to go out the car. So not only people, they just don't know that it's not allowed. So that's why also reporting these stuff just creates awareness and teaches them how to act better in the Kruger. This one was a sighting, not really a sighting, it's someone who was driving around a delivery and killed 12 imparters. And basically the fine was 2,100 Rand. And I put this up on later signing. I think I got one of the first photos. I've only got two, the rest only have one. So that was interesting. So I put it up, and people got so upset that it was only 2,000 Rand. It's cheaper to sleep in Kruger like for a whole week than to just kill 12 imparters. So people, I think within an hour, I got over 1,000 comments and saying how this guy must pay more, he's never been in Kruger. So because of the outcry for these imparters, they raised the fine to 21,000 Rand, and over 10 years he's been banned for 10 years from Kruger. So that's also how Lady Sightings helps create awareness of road kills. And this new project with EWT is about road kills, and I've urged everyone, if they see anything that's there in the road, report it so we can identify. Like this one is an African wild cat, such a rare cat to see in Kruger, and to see it like this where people are killing it, it's just disgusting what these people do. Also, what another nice thing about this community, Lady Sightings, is that during the holiday season, so many people that are part of the website go. So they wanted to find a way that they could recognize each other, that they're part of the website. So the one person suggested, why not create a ribbon? So we did, and in the long weekend during April and May, so many people were wearing this ribbon that they all got together at Skakuza Day Center and had a huge Kruger Sightings bra and discussed their sightings. And that's the whole point of Later Sightings and Kruger Sightings, just to be like a community that loves wildlife and get together and discuss their sightings. So when I was also recently last week, I stopped on the lookout point and I saw my ribbon. Everyone was part of it and everyone was discussing, and like I helped them see like 2 leopards that morning. So it was really cool how this ribbon works and how this community, people are just having so much fun with it. So basically, in a nutshell, Kruger Sightings is using technology to make your trip better to Kruger, and if you're spending a lot of time and money, you want to see everything, so you can use this, and it's growing. We're also looking to expand. We're busy expanding to all the other game reserves, like Pilanesberg and everyone, so if you're ever there, you can use it. So enjoy Kruger the next time you go and use the Later Sightings.
Tell me he's not awesome. Grant, could I have you up here as well, please? It's quite interesting that Nadav is 15 and Grant is 25. I would like to ask anybody if they would like to ask any questions before I wrap up. Yes, there's a question right here.
Don't you think your application could assist the poaching of rhinos if they report rhino sightings and where they are?
One thing, we have never ever shared a rhino sighting in the history of data science, Kruger sightings. Never ever shared one. If we get one, we delete it immediately and tell everyone again never to share it, and they don't. So I don't know how it's whole poaching at all. I don't think so.
I think it's very important that at this point we are not sharing those sightings, because there are a whole lot of people out there that are looking for rhino. And the Endangered Wildlife Trust are working on making sure that we are actually suffocating the trade rather than promoting the trade. A question over here. Could I have a last question here from Nadav's dad?
How many people in your community?
Over 18,000 people are using it and following it. Over 18,000 people are using it and following it every day. And it's continuing to grow. People are using it to share and see sightings.
Okay, I'll give two more questions. We've got a question over here.
For Nadav, I see that people are scared to ask questions about the social media side. I don't know if it's because of the grey hair. I'm one of your followers. I'm on the website, on Facebook every day. My challenge is how do I match the road numbers to the sightings? Because I sit with a map and I don't know where is the S20 or the S100. So I desperately want to see that sighting next time I go there.
What we do is sometimes we put near the camp. So like the S100 Mega Pride or whatever, we put S100 5 kilometers from Satara. So that gives you more or less of an example. But if it's 5 kilometers from a turnoff, then we put a comma near Birkendal or near. So we do sometimes. Sometimes I just forget. I don't put near which camp. but most of the time I do try and put near which camp, because certain people don't know Kruger and either don't have a map, so it gives more or less an example. And we also want to put it first. So if you had like Punta Maria and there's a leopard at Skakuza, you don't want to look. You want to immediately see your camp. Too far, you don't even look at the sighting. So we do try and put which camp it's near. So, thank you.
Come to Kruger more often than ever, right?
Okay. The last question was down there, yes?
Question for Grant, just a question on how often do the wild dogs actually get?
It's a seasonal thing, so they're only den once a year. In the winter months, yeah, only den once a year. And it's also a survival strategy in that by the time their pups are ready to hunt, impalas are lambing.
Okay. I think you will realize why we are so proud of Grant as a young person that is working so hard to make a difference, and why Nadav is the youngest ambassador of the Endangered Wildlife Trust. You can ask many questions of them. They're not allowed to have dinner, so please do speak to them. But as a fundraiser and as the head of the business unit, I have to say the following. What can you do? Well, if you don't have a My Planet card, please get one, because you can make sure that the Endangered Wildlife Trust is the beneficiary, and that's paying for the fundraiser's salaries. So we don't have to take anything from Grant's money. And tonight, we've heard about Nadav's ribbon. I do not want any single person to leave this evening without a ribbon. 30 Rand, and a third goes to the Endangered Wildlife Trust. And you're also going to a draw for a lucky time with Cute Thing. You can also dare to care for a wild dog, and you can get into sponsorship from anything from 50 Rand onwards.